Emma Malcolm. Hold on. It's coming, ne? I love it. I absolutely love it. Thabo Nkwala, the genius behind the sound of this show. Really appreciate that song. One of my favorites. It's a get me going kind of thing. Get me up and get me going kind of thing. It's 10 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It's Sports That Amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube. Thanks to the touchdown. They do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6 for the last time this week. Tomorrow's Friday, ne? Oh, Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. So you still have 2 days of the touchdown with Thibaut Touch and the team. Tomorrow they do it again between the hours 3 and 6. Welcome to it on the Mighty Metro FM. Tonight, as it is customary here on a Wednesday, we focus a little bit more on football than we do on other days. So we're going to be speaking to Pro Philani. You know him as a regular on Friday when we do Podcast Fridays. He's going to come on because one game today will determine whether one team is worth maybe 10 million versus 60, 50 million to me? That's how important and how big the game is today. It's literally a R1 million game, a couple of million rand, tens of million rands game that'll decide who the new entry into the DStv Premiership is, or Maritzburg United stays. It's Cape Town Spurs, coached by Sean Bartlett, versus Fadlu's Maritzburg United, Maritzburg, at the Harry Gwala Stadium. One of those teams, after 7:30 today, will be confirmed into the DStv Premiership. Plus, we're going to be crossing to Tanzania because we now know the name. Everybody's speaking about the coach Nabi, Nasreddine Nabi. But in Tanzania, they know him more than anyone. So let's go to Tanzania and find out about this man. It's Sports Not Amplified with Andile and the Mighty Metro FM. We're going to be crossing to Tanzania to speak to Geoffrey Lea. Geoffrey Lea is a commentator in Tanzania. He's been covering Yanga, a football club, which is the club that the supposed new coach of Kaizer Chiefs, reported by SABC Sport and Mazola Molefe, is going to be coming from. Coach Nabi, as he's known, is the man that this man knows all too well. He's just won a treble with Yanga. But let's get a little bit of information on this coach. What's his style of play? What do they know about him? What are some of his key points? But most importantly, we're going to get a rundown of who his technical team is. Who is this goalkeeper coach that, he wants to bring along? Who is the assistant coach that he wants to bring along? Of course, we're going to be playing you a clip as well that came from the media, Azam TV, I think it is, Azam TV in Tanzania, where the assistant coach speaks about, we're leaving. In Tanzania, that is. We didn't sign our contracts and we're leaving. So we're going to cross to Tanzania and speak to Geoffrey Lea about all that. But as it's customary here, guys, Ramapara, but not without you. You are the biggest lepara and leparai, because people say, hey, all the time. So when you send us voice notes, it's not always possible that we play all of them. So before we cross to Tanzania, we picked a couple from yesterday. There were so many that wanted to react to so much Izola. So we thought, let's start with at least 2 or 3 of them. But the rest will be coming in at 18:45. If you want to send us anything based on the conversations today, we're going to be crossing to Pro Philani as well to speak about the promotion playoffs that take place at 7:30 this evening. That game will be live on SABC Sport. WhatsApp 060-552-7303 086-000-2160. Hold on, before you do that, as I said that to myself, this game is going to be live on SABC Sport. I realized 3-4 years ago, from the delayed lives to we don't show enough games to there isn't enough sport on SABC, we've actually done well. SABC gives you local games. We've got the Bundesliga. We've got the Premier League. We've got exclusive rights to the women's football as well. We've got the NBA. Actually, it's not yet perfect, but I see the work. I see where we're going, and we've got to give a little bit of credit where it's due. Yeah, it's not perfect, but we'll get there.
Hey, what's in Manu Kabel? One day they'll change them. One day they will change you supporters of Kaizer Chiefs. I feel your pain, Kabel. I feel your pain, my guy. One day they'll change Zulu.
Zulu onecala seshintshile igama lakho, reacting to Kabelo GP who called in yesterday and said, Chiefs, they changed coaches. I don't want them to change Atazwane. They change everything. Next thing now, they're going to be changing us, the fans. So that's a reaction to that. Lovely one there, Zulu.
Andile, Nicholas here in Cape Town. What's the point hiring the foreign coaches? When they fail, they chewing bubble gum. They start talking their bubble gum language. The local coaches, there is nothing wrong about them. Why can't they go for local coaches? Huh? They're still gonna fail. And after they fail, that very same coach is gonna chew bubble gum and talk the bubble gum language. Yeah.
Good evening, Andile, and to the listeners at home. So this whole Arthur Zwane and the new coach and the coach bringing in his new technical team, I think it's commendable, because it's high time that if somebody doesn't perform or doesn't meet their targets, they should be replaced. And with that said, can I please say this to all Kaizer Chiefs fans? To the left, everything you own, to the box in your left, in the closet. Yes, to the left. Yebo. Sorry, my coach. But it's high time now. Amakosi, find a new coach and move back to winning ways.
Yeah, no, we've got the most creative listeners I've ever come across. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. We're going to be taking, of course, your reactions to the entire show at 18:45, 6:45. We take your calls. We'll take a break. When we come back, Geoffrey Lea, commentator in Tanzania, is going to be joining us.
Ladies, can a future mother speak? As an HIV positive mother-to-be, I've learned to surround myself with caring friends. And you guys, you're an extra share. Pinky, have you taken your ARVs? Pinky, as your COVID-19 vaccine booster. Pinky this, Pinky that. But Dezin, I'm thankful for your support.
Dealing with your chronic condition? Now get vaccinated and handle COVID-19 too. It's safe to have with your chronic medication. Call 0800 029 999 or visit findmyjab.co.za to find your nearest vaccination clinic. Get vaxxed today. You've got this. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health and USAID.
The time is now. Change your vehicle to fit your lifestyle. With over 60 branches, 13 service centers nationwide, and 40 years of industry experience, Auto Pedigree will offer you a great deal. Get up to 50,000 Rand deal assistance on over 4,000 low-kilometer quality used vehicles. Visit autopedigree.co.za or an Auto Pedigree dealer or service center near you, because you deserve a great deal. T's and C's apply.
Gallop out of this world and enter our Hollywood Bets Durban July Bonanza. Win prizes to the value of over 1 million Rand, including a Golf 8 GTI and a VIP race day experience. To enter, bet 15 Rand or more on horse racing. Competition runs 5 May to 9 July. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Tune in to The Unplugged every Saturday at 6 p.m. only on SABC 1. Mzansi, for sure.
This is Sport Night Amplified with Andile. Okay. 6 till 7 p.m. Powered by SABC Sports.
It's 22 after the hour 6. SABC Sport and Mazula Malefe reporting that Kaizer Chiefs are in talks and sealing a deal with a new coach by the name of Nasreddine Nabi, who wants to bring his entire own technical team should he agree to join Kaizer Chiefs as a successor to head coach Arthur Zwane. The story was broken, of course, and is still there on SABC Sport. Go check it out. Who is he? How did he do in Tanzania? What kind of person, what kind of football does he play? In order to get the answers to that, a man that commentated many of the games that he has seen over in Tanzania with the younger football club is Geoffrey Lea, who now joins us from Tanzania. Geoffrey, welcome to the show and thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor to join you guys at Metro and SABC for another footballing chats about African football. It's always a pleasure for me to discuss African football with my African brothers and sisters.
Oh, all the time. We love it when the continent comes together. Before we even go into Coach Nabi and who he is and what his type of play is and all of that, talk to me about the season that was. I mean, he cleaned out when it comes to all the trophies. 3, a treble. Talk to me about what Yanga did this season.
Yeah, Nabi is a fantastic manager. First of all, I like how bold he is. He's an all-rounder as a manager because I can't look for weaknesses in his coaching because in my country, Yanga has never been known as a team that plays possession football. Yanga have always been a team that relies on its pacey wingers and strikers who will always put the ball in the net. Simba has always been the team that has been known to play that Arsenal-like or Barcelona-like football. But Nabi came and made younger fans obsessed with playing possession football. But then we've seen Yanga being one of the best transition-based or counter-attacking teams, especially when they're playing away in the continental competition. So he's a manager who knows how to drill his players. He knows how to adapt to different environments. We've never seen Yanga win 4 away games in the African in any African competition before this season, and under Nabi that has happened. He's taken them to a final. This is a team that was in shambles when he came, and in 2 years he's made them a topic in the African footballing cycles. Another thing about him is he's never afraid of making the big moves or the big adjustments. The other day when there was a bit of a debate on who's going to be the top scorer, he was bold enough to bench a striker like Mayele in favor of another striker because he was resting Mayele for a key game that was the FA final that was played this past Monday. There was an away game when Yanga were under pressure playing Club Africain in Tunisia. He left Aziz Ki, the club's highest paid player, the biggest signing of the season. He left him on the bench, and Aziz Ki came off the bench and scored the winner. So first of all, you can see that he's never scared of the big players like other coaches would, because in my country we have a problem where sometimes coaches would gravitate towards superstar players, but Nabi isn't fazed by the big names. He's never afraid of trusting even inexperienced players, because there was a time he was leaving an experienced player like Joyce Lomalisa, who was in the AFCON team of the tournament in around 2014 or 2015 in favor of an inexperienced player like Kibwana Shumari. So he's never afraid of making the big decisions, and he's a coach who you can say he doesn't have a particular style, but he seems to favor a possession-based style, because that is what Yanga has been doing, especially in the league. And they've been changing that style to a bit of a reactive or counter-attacking style when they're playing away in the CAF games. So if Kaizer Chiefs land their hands on this manager with the quality of players available to a team the size and repertoire like Kaizer Chiefs, good things are coming.
I mean, I hear that, he likes possession football, but you've watched and you know South African football, and you know what Kaizer Chiefs are. They're an institution in South African football. The fans over the years have said, we want that Chiefs way of playing back. They've always had a creative center. They've always been a creative team that not only plays very forward-going, very attacking-like football, but they do it in style as well. The freedom of the players to be able to express themselves. It's always been big in South African football. Coaches like Nabi, do they come across as, strict, dictatorial almost, to say, no, we do the right things, we square? That's something that South Africans are afraid of. To have a coach that comes in here and enforces almost European ways of playing, losing the identity of African and South African football. What do you make of Coach Nabi in an instance like that?
One thing that the Kaizer Chiefs fans have to be is they need to be patient with him, because even younger, they had to be patient before. It obviously will take time for any coach to implement a particular style of play. So it's not going to be easy for Nabi, because he's assuming maybe he's actually going to Kaizer Chiefs, he'll want to sign his own players. He'll maybe want to bring his own coaching staff, and also he'll have to assess the players he found, because look, when he came to Yanga, there are players who he found there, and he did well with them. He found Yanga having signed people like Kibwana Shomari, who is a young, hardworking left back, and he trusted him and he worked with him. He found Yanga having signed the club captain, the current club captain, one of the best performers in this past CAF Confederations Cup, Bakari Mwamnyeto. He was man of the match in the second leg in Algeria. He found him there, and he's actually improved him, because Mwamnyeto was never this good before. His improvement is actually a product of what Nabi has done. You know, Mwamnyeto was never calm in possession, in defense. He's now brave to be calm in defense in an away match. These are changes where Nabi has overseen a particular personnel change in an individual player. So he'll sure find good players at Chiefs, and he'll want to use them. He'll also maybe want to sign players on his own. He signed players like Mayele. He signed players like Aziz Ki. And of course, you know the way football works. Sometimes management would want to bring a player who he doesn't trust. One thing that Nabi will want to do is to make sure he knows the right time to introduce that player. I'll give you an example of a guy like Joyce Lomalisa. He came here with a huge reputation. It took about 5 months for him to start getting game time. Yanga signed the defender from Mali, who was part of their Chan national squad. That guy has never seen game time, because probably Nabi thought he would disrupt an able working central defensive partnership. So maybe he forfeited that for next season. Unfortunately, maybe he might not be around to work with the said player. But that's the type of a manager he is, that he will know when the right moment is to use a player. Look at how he's been using this young player called Clement Mzize, who is one of the youngest, best attacking prospects that we have in the country right now. He's known the right moment to use him, not just thrown him to the fray like another manager would do. So
when you speak of age, Geoffrey, the team that he built at Yanga, is it an older team, a younger team? Is it an infusion of younger players into the more established players? What is his comfort when it comes to working with different ages? You know, we had a coach, for instance, here in South Africa, who preferred the senior players.
I think it's important to have experienced players in his team, because look at the current younger side that he took to the CAF Confederations Cup final. They have a very good goalkeeper, Jigi Diarra, who is a Malian international currently with his national team. He had Mayele, who is also a striker of international repute from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mayele was second top scorer, I think, 3 seasons ago. He was also part of a AS Vita team that went to the final of a CAF Confederations Cup with Flora Ibenge. So he needs obviously experienced players, but one thing, he will never be afraid of trusting the young players, and we have seen that with how he's used people like Kibwana Shomari and Clement Mzize. So the younger players are obviously not in huge number, because as you know, it's not very easy to win a lot when you have a lot of young players. You need time with them. So he is a manager who is balanced, in the sense that he will know when to use the veteran, he will know when to introduce the young kids.
Now, he hasn't confirmed. There's been no confirmation officially coming from, Coach Nabi's side or Kaizer Chiefs yet, but that is the rife rumor that he's coming, and we've got it with incredible sources here at the SABC through our journalist Mazolo Molefe that he is the man coming. The one thing we can confirm, though, is that he is leaving Yanga. Him and his technical team are not signing with Yanga. I'm going to play you a clip now that comes from Azam TV when he did have a press briefing. Have a listen to this.
Nikidhani kweli ni deni, lakini sisi kazi tumeshafanya. Maybe ni deni kwa wenyewe watakuja mbele huko, lakini naweza sema kama alikuwa ni msimu mzuri sana kwa sisi.
Nasema wengine watakuja, kwani mnaondoka?
Sio kusema kama tunaondoka, lakini mikataba yetu inakwisha. Sasa kuna wengine maybe watakuja na wao wataendelesha penye tulikuwa. Asante.
Samani kubaki.
Of course, that being said there in Swahili, but that's why we have Geoffrey here who can explain what was being said in that clip there that gave away the fact that they're definitely not staying with Younger. Geoffrey, what was being said in that interview at Azam TV?
Yeah, man, I've had the interview actually minutes ago. As you know, I was out of the country for the weekend for the CAF Champions League final out in Morocco. It's been, as they say in the clip, that he's definitely not signing with the club. And one thing that I'll also tell you is that there have been tensions. There have been tensions between Nabi and the management, and it was almost people had a clue that maybe he won't sign because towards the end of the season, Yanga went to play a league match with Nabi left in Dar es Salaam, and the team went with the assistant manager. So that was quite telling for a team that has a manager who has just won you a trophy, taken you all the way to the CAF Confederations Cup final. Why would you go to an away match and leave him in Dar es Salaam? That was a bit of a lousy way of letting the cat out of the bag. But one thing is for sure is there have been some tensions, and maybe if you can ask me what may have caused these tensions is because Nabi is his own man, and he may not want to feel undermined or maybe to feel like he doesn't have the whole weight of the organization behind him, and with successful managers, that is something that happens. And there are some managers who like to live on the top. Nabi is living on the top. He's taken Younger to heights that another manager will struggle to take them. So it's been well documented from the clip that you've just played, but from the events of the past few days, and I can assure you right now, the rumor is quite strife. There's even a rumor that because today there was a club that was purchased, a franchise was purchased like they do in the PSL. And another rumor is that Nabi assistant Cedric Kaze, who is a former Burundian international, is about to sign there as their new manager. This team has also appointed a South African CEO, if you guys have heard. So there are a lot of things that are happening in Tanzanian football, but the biggest rumor is...
Who is the South African CEO?
Nabi... if you could give me a second, let me just check and give you a name. We are told it's a Zimbabwean-born South African guy. Hold on just a moment.
Well, while you look for that, and you can perhaps, when we do come out of that, we can start speaking about this technical team that he has that apparently he doesn't work without. Because what we're hearing is if he does come to South Africa, he will want his technical team to come with him. I know you do know who the guys are. Would love to get a feel as to who his technical team is.
I got the name. The name is Olebile Sikazwe. I'm sure you must have that name before, but yes, Nabi, I'm quite sure if he is to come to South Africa, he'll definitely want to come with the physiotherapist who also doubles up as the second assistant. He's a very popular guy among the players. You can see him in literally all the celebrations. Whenever a goal is scored, he's there. I'm sure he'll also, and the guy comes from the same country as Nabi. So, and I think they've worked before in previous years. And I think he'll want to live with the goalkeeping coach too. They have quite a good relationship. I won't be shocked if he won't take Cedric Kaze to South Africa because, the rumor out here has also been that they've not been the best of buddies, even though it seems to be working from the outside. But they say whenever there's smoke, there's fire. And I've heard from quite reliable sources that maybe they want the best of people. It was just a working relationship, which is why there exists another rumor that links Cedric Kaze to another club that's just recently been acquired.
Well, I think we know a little bit more now than we knew about Coach Nabi when we started this conversation, and we really do appreciate it, Geoffrey. We'll keep checking in with you, following up on Tanzanian football, following up on what Simba are doing, on what Younger are doing as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, and I must tell you, as an Orlando Pirates fan, I'm literally not excited about Kaizer Chiefs almost laying their hands on a coach as brilliant as Nabi. If wishes were horses, I would take a ride with Nabi to Orlando Pirates.
Wow, well, they've got a great tactician there themselves, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Live all the way in Tanzania. Makosi, how do you feel about that? That is a strong CV given there. They've just given Nabi a big heads up. If you're listening to this right now, I would understand if you're saying, can he come tomorrow? I would completely understand. Let's take a break. When we come back, there's a big game in South Africa today. Pro Philani will be joining us in the line because we're asking the question, who is joining or coming back or staying in the ranks of the DStv Premiership? You can't miss a show like that because you miss one show. Now we're speaking about Spendilocon and you're sitting there saying, hey, don't miss it, guys. If you miss it here, get on to www.metrofm.co.za and you'd be able to hear it there. Failing that, get onto YouTube, Andile Ncube. Get on there and you'll get the visuals, courtesy of SABC Sport, of course, that you can get there. Facebook, we are live right now. I know a lot of people in Tanzania tuning in. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being on. But let's cross now to eThekwini. The Harry Gwala Stadium is going to be packed today. I can imagine the action that's going to be going there because it's a spot in the most premier, in the most, what do I even begin to call this league? The land of, as Kuja Monko used to say it, milk and honey. Does Maritzburg United deserve to stay another season, or will they be going down to battle it out in the MFC? Does Sean Bartlett do what he's done once before by promoting Cape Town Spurs and bringing a giant of Cape Town football back to the Premiership? To get into that story, we have to go to SABC Sport reporter and journalist, fact checker as well, Pro Philani. Pro, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for talking to us. It's weird to have you on a non-Friday.
Good evening, good Andile. Good evening to all the listeners of this number one sports show in South Africa, and thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I hope you were listening a little bit earlier. I'm going to be asking you questions on Friday about what we just heard about Coach Nabi. He seems to be getting a good report coming out of Tanzania. They're saying A+. They've lost a gem. And here's a man that can revolutionize Kaizer Chiefs.
Geoffrey Lea is my man. We've been having a lot of conversation with him. And believe me, what is about to happen in South African football is going to be interesting. I just hope that whatever the big teams are doing in the transfer market and then also in the technical team reshuffling, I just hope that it benefits South African football in the long term. I just can't wait. As a football lover, as a passionate football lover, I just can't wait for Kaizer Chiefs to come back to their glory days. Because a stronger Kaizer Chiefs, a stronger Orlando Pirates, and a stronger Mamelodi Sundowns makes this league better. And if Kaizer Chiefs can be consistent in getting positive results, we might see even the fans coming back to the stadium. Because whether we like it or not, Kaizer Chiefs is the most supported team in South Africa. And when Kaizer Chiefs does well, fans come back to the stadium. So for me, it's for the benefit of South African football. Whether they win or lose, a league title, MTN 8, Castle Cup, Culling Cup, I meant to say, and the Nedbank Cup, that's something for another discussion. But I just hope that I'm disappointed that Coach Atazwane is reported to be losing his job because I had high hopes of his tenant Chiefs. But be that whatever that happens, all the best to Chiefs management for finding a suitable replacement.
Well, let's move on to something else, something bigger right now. It's a place in the DStv Premiership. It is the most premier of places to be. It is the land of honey and milk, like I've said. Will Cape Town Spurs get the man born of Cape Town, lead them into what he's done before, yet another status in the DStv Premiership? Or do you think Fadlu is holding on with Maritzburg United? Lay it to me. What needs to happen today, firstly, in order for one to qualify, and your thoughts after that?
For the home team to remain in the DStv Premiership, they need to win. It doesn't matter whether they win by 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 5-4. As long as they win, as long as Maritzburg United win, they will remain in the DStv Premiership. And for the visitors, that is Cape Town Spurs, all they need is to avoid defeat. It's a very, very difficult situation for both teams because Maritzburg can choose to say, Cape Town Spurs can choose to sit at the back for the entire 90 minutes, and if Maritzburg fails to break them down, and Spurs are actually through, and they're back in the DStv Premiership. And for Spurs, they are not really under pressure to perform today. All they need is to make sure that they just keep a clean sheet and protect what they have. For Maritzburg United, they will have to come out and The only negative for Spurs that I have is that they don't have Radovan who broke his ankle in the first match against Kaswick. They don't have Ashley Cupido who got a red card, and they've only got Utelo Musa, and they've been playing a boy that they got from Sundowns. They're coming in from the bench, and for me, Spurs up front they are very thin, but Busani Busaka coming from the bench, Velebai also coming in from the bench, and they've been giving Spurs much needed energy. But Maritzburg United, Fatlo David has been complaining and crying about his defense, the way they've been defending in some.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the league, Winapilani, they haven't been the greatest. I think they second joint worst defense in the league. So yeah, it's a good worrying point, that.
Yes, and you know very well that in this type of situation, if you concede an early goal, it might be over for you. So is right to be worried, because we've also been looking at his defensive combinations. There's another worrying factor with Andile. If you remember, at one stage you once interviewed Mohamed Anas, who was fired by another team because he had relegated 3 teams before he joined the team. And there was also another player who had relegated the Polokwane City and Free State Stars, and right now we are looking at Tubonkosi Makume as well, who got relegated with the Ibaroka last season, and look at him this season. He's with Maritzburg United and he's holding his breath. He's hoping that they can overcome this hurdle, and it's a tough situation for Maritzburg United, and as this boy is playing at the back as well, with Mohamed Dehoud at the back as his defensive partner. So it's going to be difficult for Maritzburg United, and I just hope that as cold as it is in Peter Maritzburg, I just hope that the fans, they get behind the team and sing their lungs out, because whatever happens today, at the end of the day.
That atmosphere in Maritzburg, if it is what it used to be on Friday night, it's going to be a tough ask for that Cape Town team.
Well, it's going to be tough, to be honest with you. But they've got former Maritzburg players, Clayton Daniels and Nazir Ali, I'm sure, and also Michael Morton. I'm sure they're talking to the boys, and the only way to silence a crowd is to score goals and to ensure that you keep position in the right places, and you protect what you have. The longer Maritzburg United get frustrated, the longer they keep Sokona away from their area, from their goal area, the longer they are going to keep a 0 at the back. So for me, it's going to be difficult for both teams, and I made the best team win. I just hope that SAFA has delegated the top referees that are going to officiate this match, because we don't want anyone to cry about the referees at the end of the 90 minutes. We just, whoever loses the match, accept the defeat, and they go and compete in the Motsepe Foundation Championship in peace, without complaining or blaming anyone.
At Pro Philani, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Andile. For the people of Western Cape, this is their chance to have a third team. We can't wait for the Cape Derby. Cape Town City versus Cape Town Spurs. For the people of Maritzburg and KZN at large, we keep on enjoying having 5 teams in the DSTV Premiership. So may the best team win at the end of the day.
Appreciate him. He's at Pro Philani. Follow him on Twitter. And Pro Philani is a lesson for most people out there who use social media because they think it's funny to swear at people behind a keyboard or to do things that are distasteful. Because one day we were scrolling through social media and Timmy and I are like, hey, this guy is always speaking some facts. He's always saying some nice things. We brought him onto the show. He continued to do that. We followed him very closely. He continued to be a shining example of great journalism and somebody who cared for the sport and gave it his all. We had him on the show every single Friday, and now, instead of saying this is at Pro Philani, we say what? SABC Sport Reporter. Because after that, he was hired here at the SABC. So think about it before you type whatever it is that you're thinking of typing. You never know who's reading your tweets, and you never know the power they have that can assist you in getting somewhere. Taking your calls when we come back.
Good evening, Andile. We are speaking about Coach Nabi, who is about to come to Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa if things goes well. And they say he's not afraid of opposition big players, and they can use any player. But I think this is South Africa. You need to buy big name players or perfect player that can compete at Kaizer Chiefs especially. It's Moses Mokwena of Hamukwakwila. Thank you, Andile.
Hey asekubona indaba e-development. Yebo kona one day nje so uhlelo lakho lwakhe around kube sihloko sale development. Sesibuke ukuthi konakalепhi. Development nawe ibuka labafana bayadlala ibhola but kunezinto abazenza ubonayo ukuthi hawu akusizi into ekumele ngabazenza more special DStv what we multi choice ski challenge lapho kumele ngabe abafana vele sebadlala ibhola le-discipline like sebalungiselelwa vele ukuthi bayongena ka-PSL ngoba labaye basuke basuka khona vele but badlala ibhola lobonayo ukuthi kudlalwa nje ayikho into abayidlalayo lapho jabulisa ihlwele nakafika lapha ka-Premier League sekumele angasayijabulisa ihlwele.
Evening, Andile. This is Ncube from Tsakani. I think KZN teams, they didn't use their numeral advantage in their favor. Imagine all 5 teams in KZN out of 16 teams in a PSL, not even one was in the top 8. So, I think they must -1. Number in Cape Town City today,
Well, that's a good point. KZN teams, they weren't great this season, were they? They didn't quite show up. I mean, to have 5 teams, to have that sort of prowess, that sort of presence. I mean, I've said plenty of times in the show that I love what's happening in the DStv Premiership as far as what you saw with Royal AM whenever they would play Amazulu. There was a rivalry there. It was great to see that rivalry. It was great to see what was happening in KZN football. Would be sad to lose it, but I hear what you're saying as well. Cape Town, they've done well enough as well. Maybe they deserve their turn. Maybe they deserve to have more teams in the DStv Premiership, especially when you see how those teams are run. You've got to respect Cape Town City and the way they run in their social media. It's no different out at Stellenbosch too. Maybe they deserve another one. If you look at the Cape Town, the KZN teams, Maritzburg United, they're fighting for their life right now. They finished in 15th. Richards Bay started well in the season, but they finished in 13th. Amazulu, no different, just above them, 12th. Above them, Royal AM in 11th. Golden Arrows in 9th. Those are all the KZN teams. Taking your calls now. The number is 086 0002160. We had a lot to talk about, including Coach Nabi when we went to Tanzania. Akibatle Kabelo right now. Akibatle Kabelo. Who's that there? Is it Pesiton? Pexon. Okay, let's go to Pexon out in the Val. You'll excuse me, guys. I don't have good eyes, and that thing's far there. Pexon.
Evening, how are you?
Pexon, the glasses I wear, they're real, man.
Yeah,
I can't see far.
I'm so excited. It's my first time on the SABC office.
Hey!
Today, this afternoon, collecting my tickets.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah. The new coach, I can see Kaizer Chiefs, they're rushing a new coach, and Coach Pito is there free now. They can snatch him. And talking about the game tonight, I'm going for Coach Butler. He have done it with Golden Arrows in the a notch in the PSL to show that he is in the top 10 in the coaching discount. Yeah. Going to the game Bafana on the weekend, we have to show those boys that they went to the last 4 in the World Cup, but we also good here in South Africa.
Pexon, I really appreciate you. Don't make it be the last, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I mean, he brings in a good point to say, yes, you've got this coach, Nabi, but Peter Musiman is also available. We know that. Yesterday, SABC Sport broke the news that he is available. Go to sabcsport.com. There's no better place for all things sport news. Where are we going now? Tabiso. Tabiso is out in Tsakani. Tabiso, you there?
Hi, Andile. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Always good. Talk to me.
I'm good, man. Actually, it's my first time on Metro.
Hey!
Thanks, man. I've been looking forward to talk to you.
Oh, we look forward to hearing from you. Talk to me.
Yes, Andile, I just want to talk about the coach that is coming. That is
supposed to be coming. Yes.
So, Andile, I heard the interview when that journalist that you were interviewed.
Geoffrey, yeah.
He said that it will take some time for him to get the team to be strong. So I'm wondering if our fans are going to give him the time that he needs, because with Zwane, they didn't do it.
You don't think they did it with Zwane?
Yeah, we didn't do it, Andile. I mean, only a season, you know. If you look at Chiefs, their style of play has changed to what they were doing under Middendorp and also Stuart Baxter. Yes, yes. I think we didn't give him
enough
that chance, and also we didn't have players, you know, to compete. If you compare the Kaizer Chiefs bench after the starting 11 has been put on the field of play, and you see that bench, you compare the Kaizer Chiefs bench with Orlando Pirates bench or Mamelodi Sundowns bench, it was different. There were no players to choose from. So I'm praying and wish that the Kaizer Chiefs management, by the coach that is coming, some new players so that he can have so many players to choose from.
Tabiso, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. No, I don't want Kabelo now. Don't give me Kabelo. I don't want Kabelo. I want to keep my cool. Let's go to Majoro. Majoro's out in Soweto. Majoro, hi. It's been a while.
Abuti.
Hey, Braka.
Kinako man cellphone.
Yeah, ke utlwe no man. Motho nga ron tshabetse.
I never. I think Peter Msumanu na kama sharp for Kaizer Chiefs. Compared to Ntate Nabi ogwa.
Mara utlwile ka coach Nabi uri ba reng?
Ke a utlwa CV imnati yona mara ai a re tsebe re tla bona.
So ha o mo utlwile.
A butla butla.
So ha o mo utlwile coach Nabi. Ha o bona re nka re ke yena.
I tama le tlo feila le batho ba kwate ba wa bona tlo ba dintho tse ngata mara let's wait and see abuti re tla bona.
I appreciate you. Majoro, thank you so much. Let's go to West out in Tembisa, then Lisibe, then we'll finish it off with Kabelo. Oh, we're not going to have all the time. Okay, West, go for it very quickly.
Hi, Andile, how are you? And to the listeners.
You have seconds, West. Go for it.
A quick one. I'm just going to talk about Kaizer Chiefs. You know, people can't go to Kaizer Chiefs. Reason being one. At Kaizer Chiefs, you get coaches, and you know other teams in Europe, in other continents, you get managers. So at Chiefs, yes, you will be a coach. So people can't be a coach; is a manager. So that's one thing. And I just want to say good luck to Bafana Bafana on Sunday, and they're gonna do well. And
right.
I mean, the coach has been consistent, and I give them a win against Morocco.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Did we lose Kabelo? Okay. Unfortunately. But you know what, Kabelo, Lisibe, their family. If you're going to cut anybody, it's them. So it's okay. Tomorrow's no Khadachmos, ne? Yeah, there we go. Clive Barker being put to rest tomorrow. So we're going to definitely cover that again. It's never enough to talk about that legendary status in just one show and just fleet it and move on. We've got to get out of here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. My name is Andile Ncube, alongside with the Lights, Camera, Action team that brings us alive as you're watching now on Facebook a little bit later on. Get onto YouTube if you missed the show. And of course, metrofm.co.za for the podcast. Timothy Miranda. Hey, peace of snaps. I see you. As well as Malcolm Clovu and the genius, Thabang Kwala. All of us here. I'll see you on Sport at 10 later this evening. Great guests there. Pella. That's all me.